drop down into the low 60s. Showers and thunderstorms Friday, a high near 75. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern born and raised and Arkansas based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3, PRX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and online at rathauto.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Turn this off.
Deep to right center, just short of hitting his picture on the scoreboard. 109 off the bat. Stewart crushes one to right. He did hit the scoreboard. Two-run shot for Stewart, his 12th of the year. Zach Stewart just touches another one. Bounces out of the stadium. Oh my goodness. That one left his bat at 116 miles an hour. Boy, he just mashes, I'm talking mashes this one into the Hoover sky out over the secondary fence.
The game for us was 5 swings. Solo homer, 2-run homer, double down the right field line, 3-run homer. I think all of our runs were driven in with those 5 swings. So a lot of times it's one pitch or one swing, but those were all big.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Well, Tennessee can't seem to beat you on a baseball field. 15-3 record against the Vols since 2017. 5 straight, including yesterday's 8-4 victory in the Hoover Met over Tennessee. Welcome into the Morning Rush here on a Thursday. We wondered if Ryder Helfrich would get his first win in the SEC tournament as an Arkansas player. Well, he did yesterday. Guys snapped a 3-game losing streak in Hoover, and now you get to play another UT tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that other ugly orange. So the burnt orange this time with the Longhorns. So good to see him advance. Great to see that the pitching staff is going to be able to kind of at least start getting on schedule with we presume Hunter Dietz starting that game on Friday. Can't imagine that he won't. And I promise you, you can tell by the little video clip we got after the game when he was meeting with the team. This one means a lot because Dave made quick mention of let's go beat those Longhorns. So I think this one's going to be a fun one on Friday early afternoon.
Well, you think about playing in the Southwest Conference and the significance of how good Texas baseball was back then. They enter the league, and you get an opportunity to play them in football, basketball, and baseball as well. There's not as many connections to the Southwest Conference days from coaches, but you have a unique one because the guy that's coaching your baseball team also played here, and he knows the significance and knows how the fans feel about this baseball team. So excited to see what they do tomorrow.
All right, brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. They are your turnkey solution for construction projects. Not only do they have top-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete, but if you need more than materials, APAC can help you with surveying, engineering, construction, drone capabilities, trucking, logistics. It's all under one roof. 479-587-3300. 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
So plenty to react to after Arkansas gets the victory yesterday. Tommy talked about getting the pitching staff on schedule. I do want to talk about Tate McGuire, Parker Coyle, DeCramer, and also Cole Gibbler yesterday and what they were able to do. Baseball, again, on the topic. An SEC group chat we've talked about with coaches in the league. Lane Kiffin talked about that a little bit. Edy O back in college football with the LSU Tigers working under Lane Kiffin. Thunder win last night, get even the series. A lot of people traveling on Memorial Day. We'll talk about maybe what you're doing, what you're going to be experiencing this weekend, and then looking ahead at the rest of the SEC tournament here these next few days.
Hopefully we need rain, but I'm afraid a lot of people's lake plans are probably going to get spoiled by rain. We're not going to have and I can't imagine the lake water, probably upper 60s, low 70s. It's probably not ideal, but probably warm enough. So hopefully the showers don't take the whole weekend over, but we certainly could use the rain. Of course, we're going to have baseball as long as it lasts. All of our coverage from Hoover, presented by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home and their pre-Memorial Day sale by Bradford Marine. They're helping people this weekend, Ty, get out on the water and have some fun. 7 locations, been doing it since 1971. Summer fun starts today at Bradford Marine and ATV. And Walk-On Sports Bistro. If you ever had their gumbo at Walk-On's, it is incredible. You can try it with 60 TVs in every location. Full lineup of craft beers and cocktails. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win. I would imagine tomorrow a lot of people are going to be filtering out of the office, getting out early. You go to a place like Walk-On's. Rain may be coming down depending on where you're at. So let's get us a cold beer and watch these Hogs and Horns tomorrow. I imagine a lot of people are going to plan their day around ending their work early in the afternoon and being able to watch the Razorbacks.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to advance to this point of the tournament without hitting pitch. Defense wasn't great yesterday, but you got some solid efforts from a few guys. And start with the guys on the mound.
We could have sent him back out for the 4th. This was definitely a bullpen day for us. We felt like if we could use our bullpen today and find a way to win, it sets us up a lot better, and it gives our, some guys a little more rest, get them back on track. So that really worked out. And the bullpen did a good job.
Getting back on track, as you mentioned to start the show. Tate McGuire goes 44 pitches, 3 innings, only gives up 1 hit. One of the better starts he had. Didn't go long, but you could tell Dave was going to pull him early. Parker Coyle, not helped by his defense. I know he gave up the 4 hits, but only one of those runs were earned. Of the 3, DeCramer had a good outing, 2 and a third innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, and then Gibbler only gives up 1 hit in 2 innings. And
Hogs give up 4 runs in the game and only 2 of them earned.
Yeah.
So you're right. The 2 errors, the miscommunication, the play in the outfield, the play at first, those are ones that you can't afford against a team that's, we talk about Tennessee like they're not a good team. They were ranked, 21st in at least one of the polls, the one they were using. This is a team that's probably going to make the tournament. They're kind of in that band of teams with the RPIs. They should, I don't think there's any. They're not going to host. They're kind of like Arkansas. They're not going to host, but they're going to play. And but those are mistakes you can't afford. Arkansas right now. Bottom line is you're just out hitting everybody. But I thought pitching was good enough yesterday, and probably to the surprise of some. I think Cole Gibbler deserves a big pat on the back because he has not been very good lately. He was great yesterday. Only faced 7 batters, only threw 30 pitches. But in 2 innings of work, no runs on a hit, and I was a little nervous about Gibbler coming into that game at that spot, but he gave me some confidence for his next appearance in the postseason.
Well, you think about Tennessee kind of gaining some momentum, and Arkansas starts out with that 4-0 lead, and you're like, okay, this could be a bloodbath. But then you just think back to what happened in Lexington last week, and you're like, oh, this is still going to be somewhat of a close game, at least for some innings. And then Pompey hits that 3-run shot, gives you a little more breathing room, and probably the pitchers felt like, okay, we can afford to have a little leeway here. But for him to have a performance, and I was listening to Bubba talk about it yesterday, his best in weeks was really big because not only are you trying to get guys back on schedule, but while this technically is postseason, this is not the real postseason. It will either begin, not likely in Fayetteville, but somewhere next week. And you need, especially in a regional format, because you know that Dietz is going that game 1. Hopefully you can go either Gak to McElvain, or hopefully it's just Dietz and McElvain. You don't even have to spell or use more than 2 guys in that game next week. We'll see about tomorrow's matchup against Texas. You need guys to have some confidence heading into next week, especially if it's a road environment, albeit it's not going to be what they would face if they were an opposing team and Bob Walker, but that was big for him heading into next weekend.
I'd agree. And, I heard I was listening to you and Christian last night with Hog Reaction following the game, and you were saying, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit on not hosting. You thought maybe this was turning around. Was that in the moment, or you still feel that way this morning that they could potentially sneak in? Because I don't know how much your RPI can move at this point, considering your body of work is pretty well set. Do you still feel that way this morning?
So I listened to Dave's press conference again from, what was that, Tuesday, and then I listened to him last night. Arkansas currently sits at 24 in the RPI, which is the biggest metric used. I know they use some other stuff, but it's the biggest metrics. Texas is number 4. So, and I forget who they would play following if they were to beat the Longhorns, but there's still opportunities there. I don't know how much they fly up. I tend to think you got to win tomorrow and you got to win Saturday and make it to the championship game. Don't necessarily have to win the championship, but if I'm an Arkansas fan and I'm betting on the idea of them hosting or not, even if they win tomorrow, I'm not so sure. But it's wild. Like, you've won your last 4 SEC series. You would win 2 games at Hoover under the idea of them winning tomorrow, including against the second-best team in the league. The body of work has definitely picked up lately, albeit they've lost. Think of their top 3 of 4 losses, Tommy. Georgia, Auburn, and Florida. The only team outside of that list in the top 4 of teams that Arkansas is playing in the SEC is Alabama, who they swept. So on the flip side, you have lost to the 3 of the best 4 teams you played in this league. I don't know how much that's weighted against them, but it is just weird seeing them on the outside looking in, winning 7 of the last 10 SEC or 7 of 10 SEC series.
And maybe that'll be taken into consideration, but it just doesn't feel like with where you finished in the league, where your RPI is in this league at this point, that you're going to get there. Heat's starting to turn up. That means your equipment can't afford to slow down, and it's Sharp equipment. They'll keep you working with quality parts, quick repairs, and a team that knows how to get you back up and running fast. They've got Wacker Newsom second quarter specials that are about to run out, like 0% financing for 48 months, 0.99% financing for 60, even cashback offers on select compact equipment. So if you're trying to tackle land, lift loads, or fix what's broke in the field, Sharp has your back. See Sharp Equipment in Van Buren on Pointer Trail East, or give them a call at 479-649. 0500. Less downtime, more done with Sharp Equipment. They keep your world moving.
Few texts before we get into the Edy O being rehired at LSU in a different position. Hog Wild says they're not getting a regional. He feels very strongly about that. Feels like they're too far in the pecking order. He says even if they win the SEC tourney. I don't agree with that at all. You're thinking if they win the SEC tourney, they don't get a regional? I don't know if I agree with that. RPI, by the way, so I looked before the show, is at 24. I don't know if it's moved up within the last hour, but we've had 2 texters that saying it's at 23 right now, which was bumped up from 27.
Well, let me check here for you. So, but, we think that the RPI is going to move 10 points on one game. It's just not. There's too much. I mean, it's kind of like taking a quiz at pardon me, a quiz at school in the last week of the semester. You've already done all the work. A 10-point quiz isn't going to move the average. That's how math works. So, so don't expect this huge jump even with a high-quality team like Texas. That's not how the algorithm works.
You've got it up. Where was Tennessee in the RPI? Oh, I guess you can't see yesterday.
Tennessee I can see where they're at now. They're 28th. Arkansas is 27th. Let me check the date on this. This is as of games through May 19th. So this does not include yesterday's game. So it has not been updated this morning after action.
Are you on NCAA.com?
I am on NCAA.com/rankings/baseball/D1/RPI.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in the right place.
They're slow. I don't know why they update slower than anyone else, but the other places Let's see. Arkansas.
They got a lot of scholarship reductions and penalties to enforce. Their enforcement division's really busy right now, I'm sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it probably is. By the way,
they're really studying on putting Georgia on probation.
Speaking of enforcement, do want to mention this. RD texted us yesterday. The judge that was supposed to rule on Brendan Sorsby, who is the guy that's holding up the guns up with the Texas Tech Red Raiders mascot, has recused himself, according to Pete Nakos of On3. So, to me, that's like, it's actually not an impartial. He's actually doing what he was not just paid to do, but also what he went to school to do.
What's ethical?
Exactly. So, kudos to him.
Kudos to him because he did what was right. I'm not sure I would have done the same thing if it had helped my school.
I would have ruled in favor, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Dropped the gavel and moved on. But, you're not sitting in his – everybody wants their reputation and their credibility intact. And it had gotten way too much national publicity for him to still preside over the matter. He did exactly the right thing and probably what courts where it would have been appealed up to potentially would have said is that, no, you should have recused yourself.
Yeah.
So he knew the right thing to do, but it was probably fun for him in the moment to get that kind of publicity.
So you mentioned the NCAA.com sucks. Warren Nolan's got you at 23. D1's at 24. I'm guessing it's one of the – you're not 27. That hasn't been updated. Don't use NCAA.
I mean,
it's
right,
terrible.
NCAA – well, I mean, but that's the official one, right? So, I mean, we just have to wait for them to update it. But Warren Nolan's good, and he's probably spot on, but it's not the official formula. It's not the real Coke recipe, Ty.
Well, I think they all have the actual formula. One's just being updated quicker than the others. I think that's
right.
That's probably the backstory on that.
I mean,
not
you are
100%.
a baseball savant.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I think I've been told that once or twice. All right,
so you're saying they're going to move up 4 spots from 27 to 23.
Well, Warren Nolan's got him at 23. D1's got him at 24. So they've already moved up.
Well, so obviously they don't have the recipe, or they'd be those numbers would be the same.
Maybe so, but I'm going to guess that Arkansas is going to slot in close to that when it gets updated, when the NCAA gets off their ass. All right, Edy O.
Well, it's only 9:15. You think they're into work yet?
But you said it was by May 19th, right? So they didn't update it from yesterday's game.
Right. They don't have yesterday's games in there. I mean, it's only 9:15. They don't probably get to work till 10 or 10:30.
I guess.
I mean, they got to get to work at 10 so they can take lunch at noon.
Well, I don't know what time Edy Ogeron's getting into work, but he is coming back to LSU, special assistant for recruiting and defense for the Tigers.
It's time for the opening drive.
Hey, I'm Coach O. I just love my Hummer. I believe the Hummer is the best vehicle on the road. Big, tough, aggressive, and it represents everything that we want at Ole Miss.
We're coming, and we ain't backing down.
Hey, bring your ass on. Bring your ass on, you little sissy blue shirt. I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Hey, Coach, things are not going well. No, Rachel can see that, brother. You got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
Where can this team go from here, Coach?
We'll see. We got to go beat Ole Miss next week and take it one game at a time.
Congratulations.
Go Tigers.
A big addition for LSU. In the headline, in the story, it says, the value of recruiting elite players, which we know he can do, knows about a championship program, which won in 2019, knows Louisiana, and is going to be an addition to their defensive players. This was talked about several months ago when Lane Kiffin was hired, and then the story just kind of went away. So evidently the reporting back then was true, and now he's on staff once again at LSU, just in a different capacity.
Well, it just makes sense. I mean, doesn't it make sense for him to be a part of that program? And like you just read, and we all have known is true, his ability to create connections and recruit, same things that we said in a lot of ways about Sam Pittman, is just elite there. I mean, he is one of them. He is a coon butt, just to clean it up. I mean, he gets it. So, I mean, it'd be malpractice almost for Lane Kiffin not to figure out a way for him to be cleared to be there. And there was probably some administrative hurdles between Lane Kiffin and the top of the food chain there in Baton Rouge to probably get this done. And there's probably a little summer fun that that he wanted to get out of the way before summer hit for Coach O. But I know he's been having fun on his buyout since he left there.
I don't know who's going to frequent Fred's more, Lane Kiffin or Ed Ogeron. That will be something that they'll probably keep track of in Baton Rouge. Again, you play the Tigers the tail end of the season. Last game, back where it belongs, battle for the Golden Boot in Fayetteville this go-around. Game is not on Black Friday. It's on Saturday because they got – what's Black Friday? It's Ole Miss, Mississippi State. You got Texas A&M, Texas, and I forget the other SEC matchup that's on that day. But either way, you do get LSU at the last game of the season. And now Edy O's going to be strolling into Fayetteville like he was when he was the head coach of the Tigers.
Well, it just adds a little, no pun intended, a little more spice to the gumbo, having him around the league. Now, read me his title again, because I don't think this is a guy you're going to see on the
Special Assistant to Recruiting and Defense for the Tigers.
So, I mean, this isn't like he's going to be huddling them up in a timeout. I don't think you're going to see him with a set of headphones on the sideline and drawing stuff up. It doesn't sound like to me. So this is a support position. Don't expect him to be in Lane's ear on that third and 3 call at the 33-yard line, trying to figure out what do you do next.
I forget.
I don't think that's what he'll be doing.
I got to look this up. I forget who LSU's DC is this upcoming season. They've had some really good ones in Baton Rouge, Muschamp, Pelini, and whatnot, but I forget who Lane Kiffin hired in the offseason for that title. Brought several Ole Miss offensive staffers over, but Blake Baker, I guess they retained because he was on Brian Kelly's staff, I think, coming over from Missouri. So either way, LSU's going to be the most talked about team in the offseason, leading up in the season, and then they've got the opening day college game day game against the Clemson Tigers coming to the real Death Valley for that season opener.
All right, that is the opening drive this morning. It's brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They opened a hometown law firm over 4 years ago, and Jackie's been practicing for more than 13 years, and she can help you whether you're in a custody, high conflict custody and divorce situation, a criminal issue, or car wrecks. That's where they've really focused their practice to help you in those primary areas. If you're trying to navigate that high conflict divorce or custody case, don't walk alone. Let her be there with you. If you find yourself on the wrong side of the law, she will help you hold the prosecutor's feet to the fire. And if you've been in a car wreck, she used to defend big insurance companies, so she knows how to make them pay a fair settlement for your car, your truck, and your injuries. Call Jackie and her team, 479-769-1505, or go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
All right, plenty to get to coming up here in your Hog Update. Jordan Smith officially signs with the Razorback basketball team. We'll talk about that. Going to hear more from Dave Van Horn, his reaction to the game yesterday, what lies ahead with the Texas Longhorns, plus a few other tidbits. Golf team also, Tommy, heading to the NCAA championships, the men's and the women's, after their performance in Corvallis the last couple days.
Yeah, finished third up there and moving on to their 28th, I believe it is, NCAA championship. We'll talk about it. If you haven't tried the new Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets at Taco Bell, do that now. Taco Bell has turned Diablo sauce into a dust, and they're dusting the new Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets now. Get that now. The Hit That Line Now app is powered by Taco Bell.
Also got several texts we hadn't gotten to. We'll continue to do that here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. 877-377-6963. Arkansas takes down Tennessee 8-4. Texas coming up tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
And still Arkansans fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www.
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Let's play them Longhorns, baby.
This is the Morning Rush.
Graduate to a road-ready certified pre-owned ride and get more for your trade at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car, even if you still owe money on it. Make the switch to a road-ready certified pre-owned and get up to $2,000 over appraised value for your trade. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing, and some of the best lenders around, Rath is here to make finding your next car, truck, or SUV easy. Don't settle for the same old car buying experience. Get up to $2,000 extra for your old ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
When the heat turns up, your equipment can't afford to slow down. At Sharp Equipment, we keep you working with quality parts, quick repairs, and a team that knows how to get you back up and running. Whether you're tackling land, lifting loads, or repairing what broke in the field, we've got your back. Visit Sharp Equipment at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give us a call at 479-649-0500. Sharp Equipment, keeping your world moving, less downtime, more done.
We have a simple formula at Shelter Insurance. Provide personalized coverage at great rates with local agents to help you choose the coverage you need. And if the unexpected happens, fulfill our promise to be there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Is it time for you to finally get the barn, hunting lodge, barn dominium, or garage you always wanted? Sutherland's is here to help. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. When you choose to work with us, you can expect top quality, expertise, and peace of mind, knowing that Sutherland's will do whatever it takes to get the building you've always wanted. For a free quote, call 1-800-66-BARNS. Free estimates at Sutherland's.com. For over 100 years, Sutherland's has been helping folks build it better. No matter the project, we're here to help. Because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
Stretched by the lefty Blanco, and Stewart swings and hits another one. Way back right field. You got to get out of here. He hits it off the scoreboard. 4 home runs in 4 games for Zach Stewart. Zach Stewart leads off the 3rd inning. Hit his 4th homer in 4 games in the 1st. And he hits another one. Oh, my goodness. Zach Stewart has seen 2 pitches. He's hit 800 feet of home runs. Oh, wow.
116 miles an hour. Wow. Dave Neal said it might have been the hardest home run he's seen hit this year. Zach Stewart, 5 home runs, 4 games, just continue to tears it up. Now, DVH had a great backstory and kind of how Zach's luck changed. He kind of reminded me something biblical. One sec.
And Zach's in a really bad slump. He's not helping us much. And I told Coach Thompson, I said, we got to change his luck. And kind of the way I said it, frustrated, I said, why don't you just tell Zach to change his luck, cut his hair or something? Well, later that night, about 5:15, I get a call. It's Zach. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Let's see how this goes. He says, hey, Coach, it was great. He said, hey, this is Zach. I said, I know who it is. He says, hey, I was talking to Coach Thompson. He said something about cutting my hair, and you might want to cut my hair. How short do you want it? That's what he said. And I said, Zach, I don't really care about your hair. I could care less about your hair. I just want you to start doing what I know you can do. I just want you to change your luck, something. He goes, okay. I said, Zach, I don't care if your hair is whatever. Anyway, so you get the gist of it.
It's still really long. Reminds me of Samson and Delilah a little bit. Don't cut your hair, brother. Just keep doing what you're doing. And now he's double-digit home runs and really torn it up lately, Tommy.
Well, I think, Colton, when Ty continues on these streaks where he can't get words right, we have a few bad segments, maybe we should cut his hair a little bit. Maybe that would change. Yeah, we'll get some clippers here in the Morning Rush studios in the Michelob Ultra studio. And Ty, that's how we can change your luck, perhaps, is – we can cut that hair back a little bit.
That's not going to happen.
Maybe that turn around some of these segments.
What you can do is you can joke about it, like DVH did and like Nate Thompson did. But when push comes to shove,
here's the problem.
Not going to do it.
Zach fears Dave Van Horn a lot more than you fear me. That's the real issue here at the root of it.
Is that fear or respect?
Well, probably both.
I don't fear you. I do respect you, but there's nothing in my contract that says I have to cut my hair or anything. If you want to add that in for a surplus of cash, we can have those discussions with my agents off air. But it's not going to be one of those things where it's just, you're going to do this.
Why don't you just do a better job then? We'll just say that. We'll just start with that. I just want you to change your luck. Well, just all of it,
Your hair is your hair is perfect, Ty.
It's all encompassing.
Don't encourage him. Colton.
It's getting right where it needs to be. It always, as my friends like to point out, you look like Hillary Clinton. There's about a month or so where it doesn't look good because it's not short enough, it's not long enough, and it just looks bad.
You a Pantene guy, Suave? What do you use?
Biotin Walmart shampoo or whatever. It's like a purple bottle. Biotin conditioner, Biotin shampoo, and that. I don't know what Zach uses.
Nothing else. No other organic supplements. Or
no, I put Mott or whatever it's Mott, whatever it's called in my hair. Like if I have to go to a wedding or something, but otherwise it's just all
right. Well,
comb back.
Maybe you can turn your luck around and hit some home run segments.
Yeah.
Up here.
Well, don't count on it. Don't count on it.
So, anything else in our hog update?
Well, we're running out of time.
Did I just eat up all the time?
Yeah, you derailed it with talking about my hair, but we still got some stuff we can touch on, and I have some good news regarding softball tickets.
All right, so we'll do all of that. Imagine a summer of backyard fun and relaxation for the whole family with Burton Pools and Spas. They can make it happen. And right now, during the Doughboy Super Summer Sale, save up to $1,250 on Doughboy above-ground pools, or get an 18-foot coastal pool for just $85 a month. Installations included. Select semi-in-ground pool packages are $2,000 off right now. And the Doughboy Super Summer Sale, it's not going to last long. So visit now, starting this weekend. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life. Fort Smith, Springdale, Greenland, and Hot Springs, and online at burtonpools.com.
So I have good news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
Get me the bad news and just get it out of the way.
The bad news is Big Keith is under the weather and now can't attend tomorrow's game for the Super Regional, which he was really excited about. The good news is I now have a free ticket that I'm not going to utilize because I can't. So anyone that wants to go, I can't give you the world. I can give you one berm ticket because that was all that was available. So if you want to go to the game tomorrow and you tell your boss, him or her, whoever it is, hey, I got a free ticket to see Arkansas on their way, hopefully, to Oklahoma City, you can be – what caller do you want to list it at, Tommy?
Well, let's go caller 2 because that's how many home runs.
They got to win.
Yeah, and that's another reason we got to go 2. So
hadn't gotten 2 in the Super yet under Coach Steifel. Hopefully it happens these next few days. 877-377-6963 if you want this ticket to go to the Super Regional Game 1 tomorrow.
All right, so we've got that right now. You can call in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Great place to watch the game will be at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They're making that fresh, made-from-scratch salsa every day. They do the hot salsa as well. You can try that out. You can watch the game with Hog fans there. Got great appetizers, plenty of cold beers on tap. And if it's on a Friday, which this game will be on, Fajita Friday is always perfect. Steak fajitas, might as well have some Longhorn in your fajitas when you do it. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Hart.
Morning Rush Daily Question when we come back here on a Thursday.
This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. The May Mayhem continues with special pricing on trucks, SUVs, and pre-owned vehicles across all locations. Salute the savings and visit Lewis Automotive today.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www.
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
He hit it out of the stadium to the parking lot.
Boom. This is the Morning Rush.
Graduate to a Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned ride and get more for your trade at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car, even if you still owe money on it. Make the switch to a Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned and get up to $2,000 over appraised value for your trade. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing, and some of the best lenders around, Rath is here to make finding your next car, truck, or SUV easy. Don't settle for the same old car buying experience. Get up to $2,000 extra for your old ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Introducing Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa with bright citrus, real red jalapenos, guajillo chiles, Usually, you add sauce to the food, but when the sauce is this good, the food is just there to get the sauce to your mouth. That rolled quesadilla, not a rolled quesadilla anymore. Now it's a sauce shovel. Taco Bell's jalapeno citrus salsa. Get it with any item on the Cantina chicken menu while it's here. The participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. While supplies last, contact store for availability.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
I want to ride my Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, key word in this question here. What is the optimal exit strategy for the Razorbacks at the SEC tournament? I know we'll just win them all. I mean, you want to beat Texas because you want to beat Texas, and Hunter Dietz needs a good outing. But then where do you go beyond that? You never line up and plan to lose, but I'm asking, what's the optimal exit strategy here for this team, and how long you want to last in Hoover? Because we know that unless you're a really elite team, winning this tournament can sometimes set you back on what the real ultimate goal is. So that's the Morning Rush Daily Question, Ty. What's the optimal exit strategy at the SEC tournament?
Well, I think to think about that question, you have to go on, is it better to be a 2-seed or a 1-seed as a regional host and to get to Omaha? Because the whole premise of your question is to host and to get to Omaha.
There's a lot to it.
And there's a solid argument to be said that it might be better for this team, not just of how they play on the road because they won at home last few weeks, but also just the setup in order to get from a regional to super to Omaha. So, I mean, you like to beat Texas. If you lose on Saturday, it's not that big of a deal. I think in order for you to host, you've got to win the next two. Like, no doubt about it. Some people think you got to do more than that and win the whole thing, but that's just kind of where I go. Got a couple of responses on this.
Yeah.
Brennan from Fort Smith, Captain Obvious here. Optimal exit is however many games it takes to host a regional. Ryan in Prairie Grove saying win tomorrow and say bleep it for Saturday. John in Nashville, go as far as what you need to host. And then Jamie saying win at Texas. Saturday, give it your best shot. If you lose on a slugfest or something, doesn't really matter.
There's a lot of layers here. You're operating under some kind of assumption that you don't know that beyond just wins and losses of if you won this whole tournament, would you get to host a regional? That's iffy still at best, right? That's not a guarantee.
I think if you win the whole thing, you're a lock to host a regional.
So who's not getting one from the SEC at that point? Who's going to look? Because how many spots is the SEC going to get out of 16? How many are you going to earn? And remember, they generally release that top 16 list before, right? They give the 16 seeds generally before that tournament's complete, if I remember right.
Yeah, you'll get it on Sunday, and then Monday they'll announce the full. They'll announce the host sites on Monday.
So to say, if you win it, you'll get it. Well, is that true? Because, that may be decided before the outcome of that game's over, if memory serves me correctly.
So you'll play Texas Friday, Auburn or A&M. Auburn's got the best RPI in the SEC. Texas A&M's the third best team in the league. So the opportunities for your RPI to continue to rise, I don't, like you said earlier, don't know if you're going to go up 10 spots, but you're going to still go up the pecking order based on the teams. I mean, your RPI rose 4 spots by beating Tennessee, who's in the 20s. So what do you think is going to happen if you beat Texas today, who's the 4th best RPI team, Auburn, who's the 3rd, if you win that on Saturday? I mean, if they win the SEC tournament, there is no chance that they don't host. None.
There's 8 teams inside the top 16 in the RPI. 8 SEC teams. How many SEC teams are going to host? 5 at most?
Which are the two? List Auburn, Georgia, Texas.
Auburn's number 3, Texas is number 4, Alabama's number 7, Florida's number 10. Are they locks at this point? Georgia's in there too. Georgia's 14th. They're hosting.
Mm-hmm.
They won the regular season. Georgia's hosting. So there's 1 for sure. Auburn's 2 for sure. Texas is 3 for sure. Are they going to put 1 at Alabama and at Auburn? We've seen stuff like that before. Alabama's 7th in the RPI. You tell me they're not hosting? And this is through games before yesterday. So there's 4. So if Arkansas moves up to 15 in the RPI, so now Florida's going to be a 2 seed? A&M's going to be a 2 seed?
You're under the impression that they're just getting 5. You don't think they'd get 6?
I don't think. I mean, that'd be maybe Arkansas becomes a 6, but that seems like a stretch to me.
Jamie May pointing out that A&M was a 22 RPI and hosted back in 22, and then Ole Miss was a 22 RPI in 19. Arizona in 24 was an RPI 31. There's not a lot of the examples where if you're outside the top 16, you get a top 16 seed. Another element to this, and BZ in Fayetteville points this out, this team he feels like it's not going to Omaha, so why not go win it all? Like if you think that this team is going to fall short of the ultimate goal of getting to Omaha, Nebraska, at least and again they won 7-10 regular season. Why not come home with the second ever SEC tournament championship? Why not go for that?
Because
that's his impression.
I think this team can slug their way past a lot of teams. And in a best of 3, if they can survive a regional, I've been worried about pitching. I'm a little less worried after yesterday about pitching their way through a regional. And as long as they're hitting and mashing the baseball the way they are, I do think this team could get to the College World Series somehow. They still determine the winner with runs, and this team is scoring a lot of runs.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Place you can watch the SEC tournament, including Arkansas and Texas tomorrow, is at Cart Pass Social. They've got over 10 TVs that you can take in. There's spring leagues going on right now. Big announcement coming from Christian Olsen and Nate Gearhan tomorrow in regards to their summer plans, so keep an eye on that, whether on social media or listening to us. You can host events there. 75-plus people at your events, friends, family, coworkers. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. Play one of over 1,000 different golf courses. 479-487-3622 or go to cartpasssocial.com.
Well, it should be fun. Did you watch the NBA after the baseball last night? Did you watch your Thunder?
Thunder won, man. Tied it up. Wemby's still a problem, but got it done.
Fans will count it down. Cats, even the series.
Listening to Shea after the game, and Cal was in attendance, by the way, last night. You had a situation where they were in the finals last year, the Western Conference semis, where you go down at home in game one, you're like, okay, we got to win this game. It was close. I mean, you only won by 9, but you got it done. I can't see this being anything but a 7-game series. I think they split the next 2. I think it's like 70+% of the time the Game 5 winner goes on to win the series, but I can't see this series being anything short of 7 games, guys.
It was a fun one. I just got to see the fourth quarter more or less, and last night I'm in Little Rock this morning for some work today, and it was a fun finish to the game. Game tomorrow night at 7:30. The Spurs are the favorite by 1.5. Now you got the Knicks and the Cavaliers tonight at 7. And the Knicks are favored by 6.5 on the Bet Saracen app. So if you want all of the NBA playoff, Major League Baseball regular season, SEC tournament, it's all there at the Bet Saracen app. So who do we like tonight? I know Colton likes his Knicks. Favored by 6.5, guys. That seems like a big number there at the God.
I would bet on the Cavs to cover, but the Knicks to win.
I would too.
By the way, speaking of Colton's Knicks, did you see the bet that was made between a couple Philly cheesesteak owners, Tommy?
No, but I'm in.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to lose that bet maybe.
The boss of Philadelphia, Pat's King of States, had to wear a Philly Sucks t-shirt and work in Long Island at Dario's, which is a establishment. New York Knicks fans are the owners of that. And because they got swept, they didn't just get beat, they got swept. So the big-time Philadelphia 76ers fan that owns the cheesesteak place in Philly, Pat's King of Steaks, had to work at the cheesesteak joint, Dario's in Long Island, and wear that yesterday. So they did that yesterday. There were pictures everywhere, having some fun. They probably met at a restaurant convention or something like that, or maybe they had longtime friends. Either way, I thought that was funny to see. Anytime you have to wear an opposing team's gear, a rival especially like Knicks and Philly, that's always fun to make the other person endure.
We were in the Philadelphia airport when I went to Scotland, and it didn't time up either time through, but there was a Pat's cheesesteak restaurant or stand or whatever there in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to stop, but it wasn't dinner time or whatever either time. But someone on the plane ride over had taken one with him, and it smelled amazing. Wish I had stopped and what does being hungry got to do with eating?
I should
have gotten one.
Yeah, I was going to say that's surprising of you.
What does being hungry got to do with it?
You're on vacation. Just eat.
Just eat.
Also, time doesn't.
I've got to go back and get one of them cheesesteaks because they're apparently the cheesesteak of record, right?
I don't know. I've got a buddy.
I had one.
I've got a buddy that's from Warminster, and he always talks about don't go to the. I don't know if that's a tourist trap or not. I always ask someone that's actually from there. If I know a resident, a longtime resident of the city, I always ask him because there's the tourist traps across the United States that people know about but aren't necessarily as good as the local joints. So I don't know if that one's a tourist trap or not, Tommy.
I can't imagine having your first one in an airport restaurant would be really the way to judge it.
Yeah. Like I had.
Kind of like when I'm in the Memphis airport, that's not maybe the best place to have Memphis barbecue.
No. You want to go somewhere and wait 45 minutes for it to come out.
You want to stand outside, because that's how you know it's good. You want to smell the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that a airport cheesesteak stand was probably where I needed to begin.
What's the at some point I want to get into this airport conversation. I've got one, John. What's the Philadelphia airport like? Is it nice?
Big. Long. I mean, I think it was it was 10,000 steps from one end of the airport to the other get there. Big airport, but it was fine. Older, but fine.
Okay.
So, but when we flew out of XNA in there, the gate you flew in on that size plane to the big international airliner we were taking over, we had to literally go as far as you could go from one end to the other. And it was, but we got her steps in.
Got the stuff done.
Got her steps in.
That reminds me of going to Providence last year. The Providence one, I think it was Boston to Providence, or I can't remember the last leg of that trip, but it was tucked away. It was the weirdest spot that you would find an airplane in that airport. But it's fun. The nooks and crannies of the different airports across the United States, especially the bigger ones, are insane. By the way, congrats to Shane Willis, who won the softball ticket and is going tomorrow. Right. Have fun, Shane.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend coming up. At the end of a long day, how you spend your time matters. And whether you're on the water, on the trails, or just relaxing on your own land, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas is there to help you get the most out of it. Visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop by any of their 25 locations today and see how they can help you make your free time even better with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
All right, when we come back, Tom Murphy's going to join us. We'll get a chance to talk with him about what he saw yesterday with the baseball team, a few other things, including Jordan Smith signing with Arkansas. We've got a lot to still get into in hour number 2. Stay with us. The Morning Rush continues after this.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
It seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www.
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hey Fort Smith, your next great fishing story starts at the brand new Bass Pro Shops outpost on Bass Pro Drive, just off of Rogers Avenue. Step inside and discover the Pradco store within a store, where you can design a custom autograph lure from iconic shapes like the Head and Spook, Cotton Cordell Redfin, and many others. Add your name, a message, or whatever sparks your imagination. Whether you're gearing up for the water or grabbing a one-of-a-kind gift, it's all happening now at the Bass Pro Shop outpost. Come make something unforgettable.
This is the Morning Rush.
Graduate to a Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned ride and get more for your trade at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car, even if you still owe money on it. Make the switch to a Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned and get up to $2,000 over appraised value for your trade. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing, and some of the best lenders around, Rath is here to make finding your next car, truck, or SUV easy. Don't settle for the same old car buying experience. Get up to $2,000 extra for your old ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blake.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
You could drink beer.
The superior light beer for the social athlete.
Turn this off.
Deep to right center, just short of hitting his picture on the scoreboard. 109 off the bat. Stewart flushes one to right. He did hit the scoreboard. 2-run shot for Stewart, his 12th of the year. Zach Stewart just touches another one. Bounces out of the stadium. Oh my goodness. That one left his bat at 116 miles an hour. Boy, he just mashes, I'm talking mashes this one into the Hoover sky out over the secondary fence.
The game for us was 5 swings. Solo homer, 2-run homer, double down the right field line, 3-run homer. I think all of our runs were driven in with those 5 swings. So a lot of times it's one pitch or one swing, but those were all big.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
So a lot of good things happened yesterday for Arkansas baseball. We've yet to discuss one of the negative things that came out of the 8-4 win over the Tennessee Volunteers, and that's the status of Kahio Aloy.
Hey, Dave, do you have an update on Kahio and what exactly happened on that play? It's not good. Let's just, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's not good. So something he was dealing with coming into the game? It happened on that swing. That ball went to the fence. It looked awkward to me. Something was strange about it. He didn't fire on it. He just swung, and it's almost like he slowed down a little bit.
You know how we talk about non-contact injuries in football and in basketball, and sometimes in some cases they're the worst? Well, that didn't look good yesterday.
He's pointing to in the video clip. He's pointing to his hand there, to the palm of DVH to his hand. So and I heard Bubba talk on the broadcast about thought it was a knee or hamstring. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure what to take of those two things and putting them together.
How do you say that? Colton, hamate?
Hamate bone.
Hamate bone.
Hammock bone. Okay. Maybe I misunderstood what Bubba was saying, but I thought he said hamstring. Maybe he was saying hammock bone. So, but those two things didn't square with me when Dave was pointing to his hand. So if that's the case, then he's lost for the season. So
for a guy that's picked it up like Stewart, we talked about him last hour, how much he's improved. Well, Keo's been bashing the ball as well, so that's a big loss for this baseball team.
That's terrible. You like lobster rolls? You ever had a lobster roll?
Not had a lobster roll. I want to get up to New England at one point and do it.
Well, you don't have to go to New England. It's Memorial Day weekend, and Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith's got lobster rolls and truffle fries this weekend. They've got prime ribeye with smoky baked beans and hot honey Brussels. If you had their Brussels sprouts there, they are phenomenal. And then they got strawberry shortcake. And you can go to their Facebook page or their website, see it now. It looks incredible. I'd never had a lobster roll until I went to New England for last year. And I think I'm probably getting to Uncorked at some point this weekend and having one of these lobster rolls. They look phenomenal, the picture of it. So try those out this weekend. They're at 5501 Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's in Fort Smith. Memorial Day weekend, and it's going to be a good one at Uncorked. They also are getting ready with baseball on the screen, so you can go in tomorrow and they'll have baseball up when they open at 4. And you can watch the end of that Arkansas-Texas game and get ready for the weekend. Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue, next to Sody's in Fort Smith. Make your reservation and get your lobster roll this weekend at uncorkedthefort.com. That's Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue, next to Sody's. You can go eat at Uncorked and then get your the rest of your supplies for the weekend at Sody's. You can just do it all there in one stop.
Let's bring in our guy, Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, we were just chatting about Kiheo Aloy. I'm going to guess we're not going to see him. What did you say earlier, Colton? Swing a Razorback?
Probably his last swing in a Razorback uniform.
Which is a bummer to think about. Just if he is lost for the year, just the impact that has the rest of postseason. Tom, you there, buddy?
I'm here, man. Yeah, you lose Kiheo Aloy, you lose a big power right-handed bat. I mean, the left-handed bats plus Pompey were very active and loud yesterday, but he's a dude in your order. I know he had his struggles in kind of the second quartile of the year, but he bounced back some, and when he makes contact, there's a lot of hard-hit balls off his bat, so it's a blow, and, Arkansas is not super deep. So, it does help untangle some situations with DH and first base and all that. And I guess you'll see more at-bats out of Carter Rutenbar in the postseason.
Well, that's where I was going to go next. You think that's the role he takes with Robinette back at first?
Well, with Stewart hitting now, he's got to be in the lineup. So that left Aloy and then with Robinette basically back at first base, I do believe Rutenbar will be the most likely because they haven't gone super deep. I mean, Christian Turner obviously had one of the biggest hits of them for the season to walk off Ole Miss and win the series. And but otherwise, he's a left-handed bat as well. So it's really about the extent of their bench as far as who you could see coming up in a critical situation in the postseason.
Yeah. I was really, I've been one that's been concerned about getting out of a regional format with the pitching and the way it's been past Hunter Dietz as the starter. Yesterday lifted my confidence a little bit that they can find a path, particularly with the way they're mashing the baseball right now. Did yesterday do anything to change your opinion of maybe navigating a 4, potentially 5-game stretch? Because I kind of have my doubts, Tom, they could go 3-0 in a regional setup, particularly on the road.
That's a really good question. It's probably one that they've been thinking about quite a lot in the last few weeks with the up and down performances from certain pitchers, Gackle, Gibbler among them, some of your key guys.
Yeah.
Gibbler's outing yesterday was encouraging. Yeah. He really did. Well. Yeah. And then, Coyle without the errors and the misplays or the unmade plays probably doesn't get damaged too bad. So I was thinking about it. Like, I think you're at the point where you feel pretty good about 8 deep, and that's if Gibbler can have a good outing for you, and same with Gackle. But what you really need is you need some combination of Gackle, Gibbler, Coyle, and Eves to give you almost a complete game or more. So 2, 3, 4 innings apiece to get out of a weekend, and then that way, I think ideally, if you could use McIlvain to say close a game 1 and close a game 3, he can probably give you 2 outings on a given weekend, so that's good. And otherwise, you got to really get depth. Like, it's really key for Dietz to give him 5, 6, 7 innings every time he throws in the postseason. Because if you don't get that, then your combinations start to drop off and your usage turns into a problem. Because I think your 9th pitcher right now might be Brissy. He's probably exceeded Fisher, but we haven't seen a ton of Brissy and Fisher in key situations lately. And McGuire also, to continue your point, he gave them good innings. So he's among the top 8 in my opinion.
So two unearned runs yesterday in the 4 total for Tennessee that came off defensive errors. There were 2 errors in the game. We've seen that enter the equation too often recently. Is there cause for concern going into this critical stretch about the defense right now?
I do believe there is, because there's been up and down in other places. Like sometimes too many strikeouts. Sometimes you don't get the length from a pitcher. And then if you have some combination of those two happening, then you add in an inning where you give the opponent 2 or 3 runs, yeah, it could be a problem, particularly against a really sound team at their home regional. So wherever they go, it's really important for them to win game 1 of that regional, and then how you match up in game 2 against what I will assume is going to be the opponent's regional is going to be really critical. So, yeah, and it's not just errors either. It's unmade plays. Dave was really frustrated in the Kentucky game. I think they had a 2-error game or something, or maybe a 3-error game. But then there was also a line drive that, Kojal just missed at shortstop, and just some unmade plays. And there was also the ball that dropped last night in the right field Bermuda Triangle that is the kind of thing, could have been made, maybe, but you compound it when you have the errors that preceded it, and you get 2 runs out of it.
Yeah, I kind of was placing the blame off Coyle, like you're saying, for what happened in kind of those sequences there. Tom Murphy with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. So you got a big rest of the weekend in Hoover for the baseball team. Starting tomorrow, Tom, at 11 a.m., big weekend for softball. Duke in town, a chance to beat a non-SEC team to go to Oklahoma City. You've got the hitting, you've got the pitching, and really I'm used to saying 3 dudes for like terms of the pitching guys, but Courtney Davis got 3 ladies that could start and really, really bring this team where they finally want to get to, doesn't she?
I think so. They've got pretty much every component that you need. They're one of the better defensive teams. Certainly 3 pitchers, as you just mentioned, and then a lot of hitting up and down the order, and they can put pressure on you in a lot of different ways. I think they've grown really accustomed to passing the bat down the line, taking your walk, whatever it means, to go to the next person to continue innings and to deliver damage. Of all the setups they've had powerhouses, like Texas a few years ago. The Ole Miss thing was a fellow SEC team, and then your pitchers get sick. Of all the setups they've had, I believe having Duke coming in here as a 12, the way Arkansas is playing right now, has probably been the most favorable. Those Pac-12 teams that had a lot of tradition, like when Arizona beat them a few years ago, they just had more postseason experience, and they've been there before and that kind of thing. And now this is the one. This would be a real heartbreaker if they don't get through this one, but they've got to have a great feeling about how it sets up for them.
I know you probably saw the news of Edy O being hired at LSU to work under Lane Kiffin, not obviously as head coach like he previously was in Baton Rouge, and at one point he was the interim before taking over. He's been around the program here. Now he's a special assistant and recruiting on defense there. Your thoughts on Edy O being back in the SEC, Tom?
Well, he put it out there. He was ready to get back in the field. He did some interviews and all that, and he's definitely a different guy. And I think there's true value because I think players look at him as being a genuine, just hard-nosed guy. He's been there, and, it didn't work out for him as a head coach at Ole Miss, but, man, he's added value. And then he got to LSU, and the setting was right, and, Joe Burrow comes in, and all the pieces fit, and they won a national championship. So LSU's put a lot of money, and I'm sure he's not cheap in just his assistant role there, but he adds value. I mean, he's an authentic Cajun guy, and there are going to be times when Lane Kiffin probably needs his advice on how things work in South Louisiana, how best to recruit a certain player, and they're trying to line up everything to win national championships there with Kiffin, and I hope it doesn't work out for him.
Yeah. So, but I think we also, this is one of these many layers of support roles now. The idea that you're going to see a lot of, Ed Orgeron on the sideline, helping Lane Kiffin decide on what to do on 3rd and 4. That's not going to be his role. So it's a good name. I'm sure he will. It's a perfect fit if he's involved in recruiting because kind of like the reputation with Sam Pittman, this guy was known as one of the elite recruiters in the conference.
Yeah, he sure was. Absolutely a great recruiter. And he left a nice roster behind that Houston Nutt inherited, and Houston had some success in his first 2 years there. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out for him to win the games he needed at Ole Miss, but it did at LSU. And absolutely, I think there's so many things he could advise Lane on in terms of politicians, who's important, what hands to go shake, and the way you approach the high school. Ed's got to know all the high school coaches down there. I mean, so many channels, and the pride down there in LSU when you're back. My brother lives down there now, so I'm kind of part of it in sometimes, and they love their football, and Ed's going to add value to them, no doubt.
Yeah, and I just think it's interesting how these things come full circle time. You go from being fired and given $18 million to coming back. We saw it at Arkansas with Bobby Petrino. I just think it's interesting how you fall out of love, you fall back in love. And I know it's a different role, and he's not the head coach, but I find it interesting how these things actually come to pass.
I get your drift, and it's certain fan base like Rich Rodriguez, circling all the way back around. He was beloved at West Virginia until he branched out, and so it does happen. And Petrino's offenses here weren't bad, and it just maybe the end of last season was kind of the reverse karma of what happened. For him to have left when things were rolling after the 2011 season.
We'll have to see how that plays out. Tom, good stuff as always, brother. We will catch up with you next week, and we'll see where Arkansas is heading. Follow the announcement on Monday, or if they're staying put in Fayetteville.
Yeah, we will. Everybody have a great weekend.
All right, Tom Murphy with us Tuesdays and Thursdays here on the Morning Rush. Today it's brought to you by Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. They've got a complete lineup of men's health services. All of us want to look better, feel better, have more energy. Summer's here. Maybe you're kind of late on getting that 15 or 20 or 30 pounds off that you'd like to have for the summer. They can help customize a personalized weight loss program. They have peptide therapies like Samorlin, glutathione, NAD+, and others that can help you, boost your energy, boost your balance and the way you feel. They do testosterone replacement therapy as well. So if you've been reading on this stuff and you don't know where to turn and you need someone that knows what they're talking about so they can help you get a plan that's right for you, that's where my friends at Vici Aesthetics and Wellness can help you. Mention you heard it right here on the Morning Rush and get a special discount of 10% off your entire program. So start with a phone call. Telemedicine is available as well. 479-343-8424 is their number. I needed to follow up the other day. I called, boom, they got me on the schedule. And it was simple and easy. 479-343-8424 or visit ViciAestheticsandWellness.com.
I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Hey, Coach, things are not going well.
No shit, Ray Charles can see that, brother. You got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
Would be bad. Not a bad buyout to walk into. All right, so is that moment Little Rock Touchdown Club more memorable for Edy O, or is it the Hummer commercial?
Hey, I'm Coach O. I just love my Hummer. The Hummer is the best vehicle on the road. Big, tough, aggressive, and it represents everything that we want at Ole Miss. I have my Hummer. You need a Hummer. Tell them about it, JoJo.
One was obviously
Tell them about it, JoJo.
He's the head coach at Ole Miss. The other, he was recently fired at LSU. I mean, he's got some other great ones.
Go Tigers.
He's got some great hits. He's just.
Well, you played the sissy blue shirt one. Just
course.
for
Hey,
me.
bring your ass on. Bring your ass on, you little sissy blue shirt.
Was that on the beach where he got approached on the beach?
It's when they're going to play UCLA in Los Angeles, I believe is when that was. Yeah, and one of the Bruins fans in his sissy blue shirt had some verbal repartee back there with Edy O.
He's great, man.
Yeah.
Entertainment value. We need it in sports, and he brings it to college football.
You know, and having someone that can quickly get a relationship going in recruiting is important now because it's all about the portal, right? So it's someone that can not necessarily go out and build a multi-year relationship with a high school recruit. It's about someone that can do it in about 6 hours when you got them on campus. So if they can get the right interpreters around him so people can understand what the hell he's saying, I think it's going to work out well for him there at LSU. So.
I don't know if they're going to do local media conversations with him like we occasionally have here, but the funniest thing is anytime you see a YouTube video of Ed Orgeron speaking with media, the closed captioning is so off from what he actually says. It is hysterical.
AI hadn't caught up to him
No.
yet.
No, it is not. But I would love to have him on our staff. Let me tell you, he is he's a hellacious recruiter, and he is going to do wonders for Lane Kiffin, if I had to suspect, in Baton Rouge, as long as he stays out of some watering holes down there.
Hey, our good friend Bruce Stanton sent us a note yesterday, Ty. If you want your custom lure that you can get your signature on, you can go to Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. They got this for a special time, and it's only a few dollars to add your name to your lure. So it's kind of like for a golfer putting your name on your golf ball. So, you can do that. So it's simple, it's easy, and you can walk into the Bass Pro Shops right now and personalize your lures that are available there, and they've got, of course, a big selection. So check that out now. It's they changed the name of the street to Bass Pro Drive, but it's 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at the all-new Bass Pro Shops, where you can get your customized lures with your name on it. Available now at Bass Pro Shops.
Speaking of changing names of streetways, where's Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams' new streets? I know that
where they physically located.
Yeah,
one is, and I don't remember which one's Jalen, which one's Isaiah's, but one is kind of on what would be the east side of Northside's campus. That if you're coming down and you're going to hit North A in Fort Smith, leave Rogers and take the one way towards that front's north side, it's that first immediate right there. We could go over and we could have some breakfast at Benson's, and then we could just go right there on, I believe that is Isaiah Joe Way. And then Jalen Williams Way is on the west side of the campus. So they should have – there's two streets that intersect there at Northside's new arena.
They should have named it that.
I would have put them there, but
they didn't ask you.
There are there's many people in the Fort Smith City administration much smarter than me.
Now,
so, to me, that would have been the perfect intersection of those, is right in front of the arena.
They earned it. I found out yesterday, this is not a street name, but I found out yesterday that the radio booth that we were talking about, I was texting Ryan White, who's the head of the Razorback Foundation, that $50K you just paid off within 3 to 5 years.
Wow, so we could put like $10,000 a year back. Yeah, what do we get for that? Do we get to sit in the radio booth with Chuck?
Next to Z and Quinn and Rick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was mulling that over last night when he told me it was only $50,000.
Only. Listen to you.
Over
only
5 years, but over 5 years. I mean, I'm just going to empty
$1,000 a month.
Empty my life savings. Just so Chuck has to walk into the Ty Richardson. Radio.
That would be. I may chip in on this just so he has to do that.
You know what? I think about the quote from John Summerall that's saying, man, if we're not bowl eligible, I'm thinking about jumping off Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. If Chuck actually physically had to walk into the Ty Richardson radio booth, he would contemplate walking and jumping off whatever the sponsor is soon to be stadium. That's going to be announced next month. But to me, that's not egregious. I told Brian it was a bargain. $50K over 5 years to name the radio booth?
You should have said, I'll give you 30 and see what he said. You should have bargained with. You should have bargained with him
a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you should have done. I'll give you 30.
We've talked about this year. It's like, how long do I have to pay it off? It's like a mortgage. You treat it like a mortgage. You set aside money each month.
It's tax deductible too.
Exactly.
Because you're giving it to the foundation. So
exactly. I'm thinking about this more than people realize.
Oh. I'll help you a little bit on that. Just
what's a little bit?
Well, we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it over around the golf or something. All right, we got a lot more to do in Hoover, Alabama. We got more coverage coming up. Who's doing the post-game show, the Hog Reaction following the Texas game?
Well, Zach's out of town. Christian's out of town. Colton had something happen last night, so I don't know.
It sounds like it sounds like I may need to be ready to go. So all of our coverage in Hoover is presented by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. Their pre-Memorial Day sale is going on now. Remember, it's always better at Butler's. By Bradford Marine and ATV, they have 7 locations across the natural state. They've been selling fun since 1971. Summer fun starts today at Bradford Marine and ATV. And by Walk On Sports Bistro. They've got you covered with over 60 TVs in every location, scratch-made Louisiana favorites, and a full lineup of craft beers and cocktails. Everything you need for a big game atmosphere. Walk On Sports Bistro for the win.
And I just said, just give me the $10,000 a year. That would probably be a better investment than doing it on that. All right, we got to take a break.
Live from the Ty Richardson radio booth at whatever Razorback Stadium.
That's soon to be Razorback.
It's got a ring to it. It's got a ring to it.
ESPN Arkansas Stadium. Yeah, that'd be good.
Is that $50,000? Is that a lifetime appointment to that booth, or does that?
I did not ask him I'm guessing.
I've got more questions.
Maybe it's one of those things where it's as long as I don't have a foundation, but as long as my foundation is still intact, I get to keep it. Maybe that would be.
It's not intact now, but as long as it remains intact. Is that what you're saying?
I would have to start one. We'd have to figure that out. Morning Rush continues after this. SEC update coming up next.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Solo homer, 2-run homer, double down the right field line, 3-run homer. A lot of times it's one pitch or one swing, but those were all big.
This is the Morning Rush.
Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes set a high standard for luxury. With the iconic $5 box, the decadent $7 box, or the extravagant $9 box. And when you experience the opulence of crunching into the grilled cheese tortilla shell of the shredded beef dippy taco in the $9 box, you may even let the Lutz go to your head. Get your $5, $7, or $9 Lutz box today, only at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezes and specialty drinks not included. Tats extra.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at keeparkansasbeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, and scores to settle. All the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you can win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the entire season. Visit paypal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase is necessary. See websites for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
About the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
I mean, at the end of the year, things change.
Yeah.
So the big group chat changes. Mm-hmm. And then everybody would be like, in our little one, like, Kirby Rodex, like, I'm breaking the rules right now, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay.
No one's gonna listen.
I'm not a big rule follower in interviews anyway. What the heck? And he'll be like, okay, who's going to take him out of the conversation?
Yeah.
Like, the guy just got fired,
That's
tough.
Like, yeah, to have to remove
him.
Yeah, that's a sad moment where it's like Billy Napier has left the conversation. Yeah, just feel like,
yeah, well, it's worse. No, when they don't leave on their own.
Right.
So one of us has to take them out.
Yeah. That is tough. But then also that's kind of funny for everybody else. Like, in a sad way, it's funny for everybody to, like, look at that, and it's like, they're
what about, like,
the
someday he removes you? It's like, big cat removed.
Right.
Like,
so you had to remove Mark Stoops?
Do you remove people from group chats, Tommy, that you're in?
Oh,
if
yes.
push comes to shove,
Yes,
if they say
yes.
something out of bounds, or maybe they break a rule that you all have established in that group chat.
They mainly just become annoying or a pompous jackwagon. Yeah, that's generally what we. There's not a lot of rules, but you just become a jackwagon, you get removed.
What about you, Colton? Are you in charge of removing people
I'm
from
not
the
in charge of any removal of any of the groups. Back in the day, whenever I was in charge of all those fraternity schmucks that I used to pal around with when I was their president, I did have to kick a few people out of there after we, did the judicial process to kicking them out of chapter. But there's somebody that works here that loves to put people in group chats, and he does it all the time.
Is it me or
no? It's not you.
Okay,
Not me. I'm not in. I don't.
No, you.
I've got about
you.
3. I'm not in a lot of group chats, so I don't. Now I'm interested who you're pointing the finger to.
Oh, you'll hear him in a little bit.
Oh,
you've got the work group chats, the family group chats, and then the friends group chats.
None of them can mix. None of them.
No, it's very. You separate them out. It's like water and oil. You don't want them. They're not going to mix, and you don't want them to. Honestly, But that was Lane Kiffin.
Each one has its own purpose.
Yes.
You know, my golf group chat, I mean, there's a lot of things that go on in there that's not golf related. You know,
like
it's
what?
a much different. Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Good.
You know,
Are
a
you
lot
ashamed?
of it's about. No, it's just none of your damn business.
Private.
You know, private. That's you're not invited. You know,
I
it's
think
not
he-
about
I
you know
think it's
that way we
shameful.
need to say things about you. Well, sometimes it's about you. You know.
I think he's ashamed
No, I'm
at some of the atrocities that go on in that group text.
Atrocities.
I'm sure your group text
You couldn't
was
spell
squeaky clean,
atrocities.
ATROICITIES.
Why would you throw the I in there before? Why would you? You were doing so good. You just spelled atrocities. You were doing so
I was
good.
close. Mo Spates, continue on our SEC update, joking that he's coming back to Gainesville to play for Todd Golden and the Gators. After 18 seasons, I'll be returning to Florida with 2 years left to play. Thankful for the opportunity. Go Gators. I'm surprised we haven't seen more players across their former institutions joke about this with everything that's gone on. It's not just Will Wade. That's been the main point of contention here in the last day or so. But players are having fun, and man, there's a guy or two you'd love to have back on this roster, especially with your front line that's as slim as it is right now. Still waiting on the Malik Thomas and Billy Richmond decision, which I guess are going to be made in less than a week.
Well, you know, maybe this will be the Morning Rush Daily question tomorrow. I was going to get to it today, but I want to talk about baseball. Is the two recent signings an indication of John Calipari and everybody knows what's going to actually go on with Billy and Malik? Or are the two things totally unrelated?
Well, you've had Jordan committed for a while, and Mika was more recent than anything. I don't think Jordan's is any related to Billy.
Well, and I'm not saying whether you're coming, but they were able to finally settle on what the money was going to be, because I mean the money
that makes
changes.
sense.
That's I guess I should have phrased that a little, because now the money situation I think has to change for more than one or two people if Billy and Malik are involved versus if they're not.
That makes sense.
That squares in my head. Maybe I'm wrong.
How you reframed it makes sense to me. I think that I think I could buy it on that a little bit. Yesterday, the SEC tournament, Mississippi State took down Missouri. Florida beat Vandy. Arkansas, of course, waxed Tennessee, and then Auburn beat LSU. Today, you've got the Bulldogs against Georgia. That game's been moved up to it's either 1 or 12:30. It's been moved up because of rain. Florida takes on Alabama. And then tomorrow, you take on the Longhorns, who Dave's excited to play.
Let's play them Longhorns, baby. Come on.
Auburn and Texas A&M. If you beat Texas tomorrow, you'll take on the winner of the Aggies and the Tigers come Saturday in Hoover.
All right, so going to be some fun stuff. I've got a buddy, Mike, that it's his annual vacation. He goes down there. He watches every game. He's taking it all in. So
it's fun, man.
If you are a baseball guy, I mean, you really like, just to watch baseball. It's a fun event. You can get close to the action. It's not crowded on most of these till the weekend, and now with single elimination, I wonder if it's going to be even more accessible, if you will.
And Tommy, you know how we talk about sports being as expensive as they gotten? Hoover's actually relatively affordable.
I'd
And you
agree.
get in for $15. They've got a fanfare for the kids that's free. Concessions don't bite your head off. I mean, they're not cheap, but if you're, like you said, if you're a baseball fan, and I don't know if this would be the year to necessarily go. I guess you won yesterday, and hopefully you win tomorrow. But if you're an Arkansas fan, it's a fun track. It's a good time.
Yeah. All right, that is your SEC update. It is brought to you by our friends at Modular Orange. If you're tired of messing around with these DIY websites and you can't seem to get anything accomplished, call our friends at Modular Orange in Fayetteville. For $95 a month, they'll write, design, build, host, set up, get done, turnkey, the whole schmear for $95 a month. No upfront cost, no design fees, no extras. You just get back to running your business instead of sitting at your computer fighting the website software. All right, 479-755-3043 is the number. They'll make sure also you're found online, 479-755-3043, or visit modularorange.com.
All right, so this data comes from Axios. 45 million Americans will travel 50 or more miles this Memorial Day weekend. That's 200,000 more than last year. I know you're going to be up at the river, Tommy. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much this weekend,
No,
so people.
I'm not going this weekend. So.
Oh, I thought did you? I thought that was your plan.
No.
Did you change your mind?
No. Yeah. Sort of.
Okay.
So.
Well, there's a lot of people traveling this weekend, and when you do travel, I know Tommy was talking about the Philadelphia airport earlier. I did the touchless just this week. I finally figured that out. You know how TSA's been doing the new pre-check touchless? Well, I added that to my Southwest account. I still got to get on my American, but I added it to my Southwest. What security line do you go through at the airport? Normal, TSA pre-check, TSA touchless, clear? Maybe you're a big dog and there's another one I don't go about. Maybe you apply private. You're Clear Plus. When did you get Clear Plus?
A couple of years. My credit card pays for it. It was one of those incentives.
Mm-hmm.
So Clear is what I go through. And I've noticed I just got an email. They've added this to XNA, which XNA, I've never been there where I've had to wait.
Oh, it's the best security. Oh, my goodness.
Here's my only complaint is so more often than not, the TSA pre-check line, which they hadn't had Clear till now, and been there since they've added it in the last week or two, the TSA pre-check line is longer than if you just wind through the normal stuff. So, but it's never, I don't care where you are or who you go or what time, security at XNA is never more than 5 minutes. So it's not a big issue there. But Clear is awesome. When I fly out of Tulsa, you walk in, you go right to that deal. I mean, you avoid everything. And then when you're in the bigger cities, it's never a problem. They don't have it at LaGuardia in the new terminal for some reason. That's the one thing they have got to get added.
Okay, in New York. I wonder, does it take a
Clear's
while?
great.
Does it take like 10 or 15 minutes to get signed up? I know TSA pre-check was worth it.
No, you just go right to their deal, and it's like, it's like $200 a year. But I only did it because my credit card
pays for
included it. They gave me a credit. If I do it, they gave me the credit back for the amount. So.
See, I only get $120 back for it, so I'd still be spending $80 a year, which to me is not worth it.
It's well worth it.
Because
here's the other thing. You never have to pull your ID out at the airport.
Oh, that's nice.
Because it's all facial recognition. So you just walk up. So if you're like Ty and you lose your driver's license at a wedding, then you can you can still get back on your airplane without your license.
That is a scary situation when you wake up and you don't have your license and you're in an unknown city and you have to scour the Airbnb or hotel to find it. Luckily, I made it back every time, but that is not a pleasant experience.
You would really fret over $80 a year?
I mean, you know me, I'm cheap.
Yeah.
So given the option.
I'm just telling you, it's a convenience.
I did
because here's the thing with Clear, and I don't know why we're doing a commercial for Clear, but you do the facial recognition, and then they walk you to the front of the TSA line. You bypass the TSA line.
Okay, that's nice. So I did I did the passport renewal. I finally got a picture that was worthy of the government's discretion to get me in and out of the U.S. and other places. I look awful, by the way. Look horrible, but it worked to get them passed. Spent $120. That'll last me 10 years. To me, that was worth it. 80 additional bucks a year. I don't know.
I think I got another year or two on mine. Need to check. Well, I got it right here with me, actually. Tell you. Not that you want to know, but I'm going to tell you anyway because now I'm curious.
My TSA pre-check expires February of 27. So I got another
I need to
6.
put this up or I lose my passport, but
don't do that.
I don't want to do that. See, I got it right here. You see it on camera.
Don't show the camera what the
April of 28
passport number is.
So I've got a little under 2 years. No. So there's no sense in renewing it early.
I bet you I don't go out of the country one time in the next 10 years, but you needed that because it was a requirement for TSA touchless. It's the only reason I renewed my passport. I would have let it expire. Actually, I did let it expire. It expired last year, but you needed it for TSA touchless.
Well, I'm going to get mine renewed because I want to go back to Scotland. That's what I want to do. I want to go over there and play some more golf, or go to Ireland. Hey, I tell you where else we could go. You don't need a passport at Gaston's White River Resort. You can just call, and Jacob and the staff will get you hooked up with the right setup. Memorial Day weekend, it would be a great time to be there. Even if it rains a little bit, it's going to stop. You're going to have some great fishing. And at worst, if I had to lay in one of those cabins and listen to the rain come down on the roof and just take a nap, doesn't that sound pretty good? And then you could kind of roll over on the couch there, maybe look out. Yeah, that old White River's still rolling on by. Wake up in another hour or two, go down to the restaurant, have you a cocktail, and then maybe a big old steak or one of those big Gaston's burgers, John Boat salad bar. It all makes for a great weekend, if you ask me. 870-431-5202. We've been talking about summer trips and getaways. Gas prices are. I'm in Central Arkansas. I saw gas at like the Murphy. It was like $4.19 a gallon. If that's going to spoil your summer plans, redirect those to Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202, and they will get you set up with a great getaway, fishing, family fun, cabin, private lodge, all that, and it's very affordable. 870-431-5202, Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time, every time.
This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. The May Mayhem continues with special pricing on trucks, SUVs, and pre-owned vehicles across all locations. Salute the savings and visit Lewis Automotive today.
Oh, my goodness. That one left his bat at 116 miles an hour. That might be the hardest ball I've seen hit this year.
This is the Morning Rush.
Walk On Sports Bistro, where every James J is a win. Whether you're celebrating a Razorback victory, grabbing drinks with friends, or looking for an easy dinner with the family, Walk-On's has you covered. Enjoy scratch-made favorites, over 60 TVs in every location, craft beers, cocktails, and incredible menu items like po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, juicy burgers, and fresh salads. Catch every big sports moment at Walk-Ons with locations in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and now open in Little Rock. Order online or through the Walk-Ons app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Graduate to a road-ready certified pre-owned ride and get more for your trade at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car, even if you still owe money on it. Make the switch to a road-ready certified pre-owned and get up to $2,000 over appraised value for your trade. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing, and some of the best lenders around, Rath is here to make finding your next car, truck, or SUV easy. Don't settle for the same old car buying experience. Get up to $2,000 extra for your old ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. The May Mayhem continues with special pricing on trucks, SUVs, and pre-owned vehicles across all locations. Salute the savings and visit Lewis Automotive today.
All right, we are back to wrap things up here on the Morning Rush and getting you set for a big Memorial Day weekend. Hey, if you're going to be in Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill is the place we always stay, 479-443-1800. I know a lot of people have been up for vacation or for graduations. Maybe you want to come back and see, see the museums and see Crystal Bridges and those kind of things. Maybe you're going to a Naturals game. Hopefully, Colton, we've got a baseball regional next weekend that you can come up and enjoy as well. So if you're looking for a place to stay for work or for play, it's all there for you at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800. What do you do on a day off in Hoover? I would have my golf clubs with me. I don't, I'm sure the team will, rest and rehab, and hopefully this Aloy thing isn't what it sounds like. He's gone for the year if it's a hammock bone. So that's a big loss. But what do you do on a day off if you're in Hoover?
Well, this is actually the one conference tournament, I guess, big event that I've actually been to as a patron, as a fan. This was well before I worked here at ESPN Arkansas, but I got to go there in 2021. My brother-in-law and his family, they have a cabin down there on Lake Wedowee in Alabama, which I think is about an hour or so away from Hoover. And so I got to go watch the Arkansas Razorbacks take on Ole Miss. I think it was maybe the first or second game in that SEC tournament that year. They ended up winning the championship. There were 3 or 4 Ole Miss fans around me, and there's coincidentally about 3 or 4 teeth between those 3 or 4 Ole Miss fans. But one of the things that I liked to do when I was there, it wasn't, but it's the truth. One of the things that I liked to do when I was there for those couple of days that I was there was just walk around in the parking lot to talk to the people that were tailgating. They had LSU fans with, a white table full of liquor bottles, and they were very, very generous. So that's one thing. And then maybe you can go down to the lake like I did and try your best at some water skiing.
I think there will be a lot of, or some, I shouldn't say a lot. I think there will be some that because you're playing Texas, because it's a Friday, they'll just load up and go and try to find tickets. And I think you can go down there for that game and find tickets if you want to go. So kind of like a basketball tournament when Arkansas wins that first big game and you've got a day or two to get there. There's not a ton of difference in the driving time for a lot of the fans between Nashville and Hoover. They're almost the same drive in as far as time. So I think there will be some fans that say, hey, we got a long weekend. We got till Monday to get back. Let's go down there and see what happens. So I think there'll be some fans that do that as well. We'll have the game for you tomorrow. It's scheduled for a 2 o'clock start, right? 1:30 for the Dugout Show on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations. And, of course, the Hit That Line Now app will have it as well. So that's how we're going to crank up the weekend. Hopefully the weather doesn't move the schedule around. But, Colton, I know they've already moved some game times down there to accommodate that as well.
Yeah, I know they moved Georgia up today as well as that matchup they have with Mississippi State. That was supposed to take place at 3 o'clock, and now I think it's going to start closer towards 1 o'clock so they can get it in down there before some severe thunderstorms may hit that area later on this evening.
Do you have the bracket there nearby?
I do. I don't have the bracket, but I do have who's playing today and tomorrow and who they'll play.
Okay, so if you if Arkansas beats Texas, Who does that match up against? Because that would obviously put you in the semifinal of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
These teams like Georgia, Texas A&M, they're playing their first games as the 1 through 4 seeds. So who is that opposite of? It's A&M on the other side, right?
A&M and Auburn. Yeah, you don't have any history this year with A&M, but they did finish in 3rd place in the SEC in the regular season. And then you remember you went down to Auburn, went back and forth in games 1 and 2, and you couldn't get it done in game 3.
So those games. Who's Arkansas's playing Texas? Who's Auburn playing, or has that been decided yet?
Auburn is playing Texas A&M, so it's the winner of that game.
Auburn A&M. Okay, all right. So that's going to be an interesting side, and no matter who you play, if you're successful, that's going to be tough without Hunter Dietz. But those are teams that don't have as much to play for in postseason setup as the Razorbacks do. They would be obviously in a more advantageous position. So going to be fun, even if you go down there and the Hogs do lose to Texas. It's going to be a fun weekend of baseball. So I know a lot of you getting ready. We're getting ready for tomorrow's show. We'll do our Fenceman Friday picks. Get you through that. I'm sure the Arkansas-Texas game will be front and center on that. We'll see if Stewart can hit you another home run. He has been on a tear, so we'll have a lot of that. Plus, we'll have some more basketball talk as we get ready for another game of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight, and then tomorrow the Western Conference Finals in the evening as well. All right, for Ty Richardson, for Colton Little, I'm Tommy Kraft. Glad you've been here on a Thursday. Stand by. Halftime coming up next with Colton, Christian, and Matt. That's all straight ahead here on ESPN Arkansas. And the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell.